A claps.
What it do, Electric Boogaloo? It's your girl Keisha, aka Color Me Pynk, and I'm here with this week's All Tea, All Shade, Love and Hip Hop Family Reunion, Season 3, Episode 5. I drop videos Monday through Sunday. Everything that I say is for entertainment purposes only and not to be taken seriously, meaning my jokes. So if that works for you, then let's get into tonight's review. But before we begin, I want to let you guys know that I have a brand new episode of It Started with Wanda airing this week that you do not want to miss. It's our 2022 breakdown from celebrity pop culture moments, our favorite reality stars, favorite reality shows, funniest moments. You do not want to miss it. It is hilarious. I also have my reactions to the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion looks video coming up and so much more this week. So stay tuned to all of my videos that I have dropping. Now let's get into my review. Episode begins where last week's episode left off with Spice, Karlie, and Estelita trying to do this $5 million giveaway that Spice curated for, her people in Jamaica. But it became too hectic and dangerous because people were pushing each other and, they were getting concerned for everyone's safety. They didn't want anybody to get trampled over or for anybody to get hurt. So they had to shut it down. Yeah, that was not organized correctly. I think that what Spice was trying to do was absolutely wonderful. It was a great idea. It was great for her to do that. But the organization of it all was just not safe. It wasn't organized correctly. They should have had it at a building. They should have had it where people had to stand in line, get a number, come in, one by one, boom, bow. They get their voucher, they walk out. You know what I'm saying? That way can't nobody skip the line or anything like that. So I think that it was a situation where they just needed to reorganize the situation for like maybe a week later and have it at a new location with security and everything like that. But Spice was, of course, very upset about everything. She was so upset she didn't even want to attempt to try to do this again the following year. And I don't think that she should feel that way. I think that it was all about just sitting down and reorganizing the event. So back at the resort, the cast is playing soccer and Mama Jones arrives. And, she and Chrissy don't get along. They don't speak to each other. When they are around each other, they literally just ignore each other at this point. So after soccer, Chrissy, Tierra, Marie, and KK are all talking. And she tells them that, Mama Jones can never tell her what the real issue is after all of these years. And KK and Tierra was like, what the real issue is. That's her son. That is her son. And KK was like, I think it's the thing about, being a boy mom and being protective of your child. And I get that because I'm a boy mom. I have one child and that's my son. But at the same token, you have to let your kids live. We've all gone through relationships. We've all gone through stuff. And at this point, Jimmy is not no kid. Jimmy is a old man at this point. He ain't even middle age no more. Is he middle age? I don't even know if he's 50 years old yet, but he damn near there. I know Chrissy is in her 50s. So at this point, it's like, girl, let it go. She ain't going nowhere. They've been together for I don't know how many years at this point. Like, what is the contention? I think that they're two very strong-willed, strong-minded women that are very territorial of their spots in his life. But as far as Mama Jones is concerned, girl, back the fuck up. Back up and let that man live at this point. Like, get over it. So Chrissy was like, it ain't like I just came into his life and was taken. Like, we've been through the mud together. Like, I helped him in his life. And she has, And she says that it's so bad that, she has to spend some holidays alone because they can't be around each other. And Jimmy has to house hop. And I know how that is, honey. I know how it feels to be in a position where you don't get along with your spouse's family. And so holidays y'all spending separately, you know what I'm saying? Because especially when it's on both ends. Like my family didn't like my ex family didn't like me. So we would literally spend holidays apart. Or we'll spend, the beginning part of the day together and then venture off to our families. It's very nerve wracking and stressful to be in that type of situation. So I feel for Chrissy, but I do feel like that there on Chrissy's end there does need to be some respect given to his mom, because that is his mother. And I feel like sometimes Chrissy can be a little disrespectful with her mouth in the way that she speaks to Nancy. Chrissy invites Nancy to talk one-on-one. They haven't spoken in quite some time. When Jimmy goes to her house, Chrissy sits in the car. She doesn't go in. Like, they do not mess with each other at all. So Nancy was like, you said you wasn't going nowhere and you didn't. She was like, but it's time. It's time for us basically like to end this. And Chrissy was like, girl, it's been time. Like, what? So Chrissy was like, in the beginning you used to take up for me. Then suddenly I was the op and I didn't know why. And I was confused. And then I had to put my big girl panties on and realize that, she loves her son to death and I'm this new woman in his life and his life is changing and you wanted to control everything. And Mama Jones was like, yeah. And I had to realize that, I can't control everything pretty much. And Chrissy was like, and you did put a wedge between us. You did. And Mama Jones was like, that was very unfair to you. It really was. And Chrissy gets emotional and tears up. And so does Mama Jones. And Chrissy was like, when my mom passed when I met Jimmy. And I thought that you would be that for me. Because you know how it feels to lose a mom. And Nancy was like, but I didn't know how to deal with it, like I feel like Nancy is not an emotional person that does not know how to deal with feelings. I think that she, was very hardened through her experiences through life. And the same thing for Chrissy. They're not really emotional people, like they're really strong-willed women. And I think that they have more similarities than they have differences, to be honest with you. So she apologizes to Chrissy for, the way she's treated her throughout the years. And Chrissy in her confession was like, this is a new Nancy because Nancy has never apologized to me. Ever, ever, ever. So Chrissy was like, I don't expect for you to be perfect. Just be a little nicer to me. And they hug each other and they embrace and they do a confessional with each other. And it was just really good and really sweet to see them on one accord. Hopefully, present day, it has lasted and they haven't backtracked because time is precious and everybody's getting older. We don't know what our last days is going to be. And you don't want to leave people in, a negative space when it don't have to be. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully, prayfully, things are still on track for them as a family. MJ and Amada finally have their one-on-one talk that has been way, 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 way overdue. And Amada right off the bat apologizes for hurting him. And MJ was like, when we were together, all I wanted to do is protect you and you protect me. So as far as the Alan situation, Alan is her baby daddy. He was like, I felt like you didn't protect me in that situation. And Amada clarifies that she did not cheat on him with Alan, that they were not together when everything happened. And MJ was like, but for me, it shouldn't have happened at all. And Amada was like, well, I don't regret it because my kids came out of the situation or whatever. So let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all think that Amada was wrong for messing with Alan? So apparently it was a situation where her and MJ was together. He introduced them. They broke up and then they got together. Do you think that that was wrong? I don't think that it was wrong because it wasn't like this was a best friend, like somebody that she was around all the time. Like she knew that, this was his man's and that was off limits. If this was somebody she met in passing, hey, yo, this my people's, speak, da 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 da, and then later on they end up getting together, I don't think that that's necessarily wrong. You know what I'm saying? But if Alan and MJ were as close as MJ makes it seem, then yeah, she was wrong. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about the situation down below in the comment section. I really want to hear you guys' opinion. So MJ was like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm still attracted to you, when I see you and everything. And I was like, this nigga trying to shoot his shot. He trying to get back over there at that mansion, child. And they hug it out and everything. I feel like Amada is somewhat still attracted to him, but not all the way still attracted to him. You know what I'm saying? But there's still something there. It might just be a little sliver, but there's something still there for both of them. So after that, it's Tierra Marie's bonfire because she wants to perform. And Shekinah arrives, child. And right off the bat, Shekinah already starting with her bullshit. Her and Chaotic, she's snapping at him, saying, ain't nobody talking to you. And then she meet Gunplay. And why you call yourself Gunplay? What's your real name? And Lyrica comes up and speaks to her and tries to shake her hand, and Shekinah was basically like, bitch, no, like, who the fuck are you? Like, I'm not shaking your hand. And I was very put off by that. I'm like, Shekinah, what is you doing? Like, why is you coming in here being so negative and just starting shit? Like, you starting to get on my nerves, like, really truly starting to get on my nerves, like, because that was just totally uncalled for and not necessary. Like, what has she done to you? Why do you always have to have an opinion on everything? Like, calm your tits. Tierra gets up on the little stage and she performs for the first time in 10 years. She performs her old hit Sponsor. I remember when Sponsor came out and how at that time it was so like risque and edgy to say that a man was a sponsor for you. And like now that's just like regular schmegular talk. Like, oh my God, have times change. And it just also reminded me how good of an artist Tierra Marie was when she was in her prime and was really focused and was getting it right. And it reminded all of her castmates about her songs. Some of them didn't even realize that she was the person that sang certain songs and stuff. So it was a really dope nostalgic moment. I really wish that she would like get herself together because she still looks good. If she got herself together and really, hit it hard, she could come back. She really honestly could. So as she's performing and everybody's vibing out, Shekinah leans over to Chrissy and was like, has she paid 50 Cent his money yet? And Chrissy in her confession was like, bitch, don't ask me no shit like that. Like, especially when it got something to do with revenge, PORN. She was like, Like, she was disgusted that Shekinah would even ask her that question. And I would have been like, girl, I don't even know you. And you asking me some shit like that, being messy. Like, what was the point? Like, I feel like Shekinah just doing too much at this point. Like, it's obvious that she has taken on the role of shit starter. And you've already said that you don't like to fight. You can't fight. So why are you coming on here being messy? Because these security guards are here right now, but these security guards ain't gonna be with you when you out in public by yourself. Like, it ain't that damn serious for a paycheck. Like, really, girl? Like, that was very tasteless to me and very tacky. And so after Tierra Marie performs, MJ gets up and it was like, Amada, you can come close if you want to. And Amada is kind of put on the spot. She was like, I don't know what this dude is on. Like, I just got out of a relationship. I ain't trying to jump back into no old one. Like, it's just a lot going on. But as the night progresses, like, they laughing and kikiing with each other. That's why I'm like, I think that there is still something there. It might just be a little pinch, but it's still something there between them two. So Tierra goes and sit next to Chrissy. And remember, her and Chrissy got a relationship with each other for, years back. And she was like, Chrissy, you don't even look like you enjoying yourself. And Chrissy was like, I'll tell you in a minute. Like, she was feeling some type of way about what Shekinah said. And I would have felt some type of way too. But I would have put her ass on blast right then and there when she said the shit. So Jen is at the bar getting a drink for Phresher, and MJ is asking her, how do y'all sustain your relationship? I'm trying to be like y'all. And Jen in her confession was like, everybody keep on calling us couples goals, but we've been engaged for like 16 years and I'm tired of playing house. And I'm like, I hope ain't nobody calling y'all no couples goals. Like, a couples not to do list. That's what y'all are. Absolutely not. So after that, we see Tierra Marie, Nikki Baby, and Shakana. They all go and talk separately. And they sitting on the couch and they telling Tierra how good her performance was. And Shakana was like, I don't think you should give up on singing. This is what you born to do. Just being so fake, knowing she was just shading her a minute ago. So Tierra was like, yeah, I just needed a break. I went to rehab. I had the sex tape thing happen. And Shakana was like, yeah, what was up with that? And Tierra was like, Shakana, I did not do that. She was like, in her confessional, she lost the case in court. But she maintains that, this was revenge, PORN, done to her. And that she didn't, try to have no Kim K moment or anything like that. But in court, 50 demanded that she pay his legal fees. So she still owes him money to this day, and she was like, he'll get it when I got it. So Shakana was like, what he say? You owe him like 50K? I mean, he can shit that out. Like, that's little money to him. But you was just asking Chrissy about did she pay that man his money. Like, Shakana, you so fucking fake. Like, girl, you pie face hoe. So, Shakana in her confessional was like, I mean, I'm just asking the questions that everybody wanting to know. I mean, I'm in a lawsuit too. Maybe she can give me some do's and don'ts. That's not how you presented it though, ho. So Tierra asked her, you was looking like you was annoyed earlier. What was up with that? And Shakana goes on to tell this story about how years ago Lyrica inboxed her and asked her to promote her new song, which she did. And she said, I'm up here after that one day had posted a cute picture of myself on Instagram, and you know how you looking to see like who like your stuff and who whatever. She was like, I went to Lyrica page and I'm seeing that it say follow back. So I'm like, how you gonna ask me to post something for you and you ain't even following me? So Tierra Maria, her confession was like, girl, that mean that she follow you and you don't follow her. Like, what? I don't know if she said that to her in the moment because they didn't show it. But Shakana was like, and then she gonna walk up to me trying to shake my hand like you don't know me. Girl, you know exactly who I am when you were sitting there asking me to post your song for you. I don't think there's a situation where her pretending like she didn't know you. That was like probably her first time meeting you in person and was like, hey, whatever the case may be. I'm like, Shakana, you are absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous. Like, girl, it is not that deep. Like, sit down somewhere. And then reiterated once again that she not a fighter. So if you're not a fighter, stop being so damn messy. You starting to be the new Karlie now. So then we see Jen and Phresher back at their room, and she brings up her triggers while he's rubbing on her thigh. He lit. He trying to fuck. He ain't trying to talk about no triggers. And she talking about how everybody keep on calling them couples goals, but she tired of being his fiance. She been his fiance for 16 years. When are we gonna get married? And he like, until you ready to go to City Hall, then you gonna continue to be, my fiance. And she was like, I'm not getting married at no City Hall. Like, stop saying it. Like, I'm not doing it. And he was like, our money situation, like, no, I'm not doing it. So Jen was like, you plan for stuff like this, just like we planning for our sons, college education. We could be planning for this wedding. And Phresher was like, you want a $250,000 wedding. With that type of money, you invest that type of money. I'm not paying all that money for no wedding when we could just go to City Hall. And she was like, I'm not a City Hall bitch or whatever. And it's like, I understand exactly where he's coming from, because all of that money is a waste just for one day when you can invest that into y'all future, a home, something that's going to last for more than a moment. So if you want to compromise, you can have a beautiful wedding for $10,000-$20,000. You can have a beautiful wedding, just your immediate family, something at a home in the backyard. It could be gorgeous. You know what I'm saying? It's obvious that she wants to be your wife, and it's obvious that she wants a wedding. So there's ways to go around it and compromise. But 16, 17 years together and we ain't married, it's either we just gonna stay this way or we just need to break up at this point because this is ridiculous. So, dude, like, I love you to death. I want to be with you. She was like, love ain't enough. How long you plan on being broke? You saying it costs too much. That's broke people behavior. Like, girl, now you sound ridiculous now. Like, you sound shut out. Shut up. So Phresher was like, no, that's smart. Leave and see where your ass gonna be. And so Jen in her confession was like, when we broke up some years ago and he was doing him and I was doing me and he was collecting trash, I found myself and I realized that I can do it on my own. So he ends up leaving the room like, you tripping, like, I'm up out of here or whatever. And she like, he keep it up, I'm gonna end up leaving him. Like, she seemed like she got caviar taste with a Coke 45 budget. Like, I don't know what she on. Like, you talking about broke behavior, but he just said you don't work. He take care of the household. So I'm just so confused by this whole entire situation. Jen is a nincompoop. She gets on my nerves. And for once, I agree low key with Phresher in this entire situation. Not that they need to have a city hall wedding, but to spend $250K on a wedding that y'all just ain't got money like that is ridiculous. It is stupid. So overall, I give tonight's episode of Love and Hip Hop Family Reunion a C plus. A C plus. It was cute for what it was. Y'all let me know what y'all felt about tonight's episode down below in the comments section. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.